Hello again, everyone. So earlier today, I did a review on the month of April for the MLB. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little preview for round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs in the NHL. All series have now played their first game, so I'll get this going with a look at who's currently leading the series and got that crucial Game 1 win. So I'm going to start off with the Capitals-Rangers series. The Capitals won that first game, so they're up 1-0 in that series. Ovechkin and Backstrom and Ward are all playing great for the Capitals this postseason in this Stanley Cup playoff race. Ovechkin's got 3 goals, 4 assists, as does Backstrom, and then Ward's got 2 goals and 3 assists. So they got players that are stepping up. The Rangers have Brassard has 3 goals and an assist, but they don't really have a lot of other guys that have goals and assists and point totals that are in the top 30 for the playoffs. But the key thing that I think with this series that it's going to come down to is the play of the goaltenders. I think they're both just elite goaltenders, and it's going to be tough. You're going to see low-scoring games, I think, in this series. Probably a couple shutouts, probably a couple overtimes, just because the goalies are that good. With Washington, Holtby, so far this postseason, 1.54 GAA and a 947 save percentage. That is really, really good. That means probably for a team to score against this guy, you got to get at least a bare minimum 20 shots off, I'm going to say, in the game to try to get a goal past this guy, and even that might not be enough. You might have to try 25, 30 shots against Holtby to try to get a goal against him. He's just been playing really, really well in the playoffs. And then Lundqvist for the Rangers has been playing just as well. He's got a 1.61 GAA and a 938 save percentage. So you got 2 goalies here who have GAAs under 1.65, and their save percentages are all above 925. So that's why this series is going to be tight. The Capitals did win in Game 1, which is very important. I think getting that first win, especially in this series, I think is a little bit even more important. If the Rangers do go down 2-0, as good as Lundqvist is, he's not going to be able to win the series for you. You're going to have some guys step up and try to get some goals in and score on Holtby. You got to get traffic in front of the net, capitalize on your power play opportunities. Next series, Flames Ducks. I got a Canadian team in this series. Obviously, Anaheim won Game 1 and embarrassed Calgary with a 6-1 win. So hopefully that doesn't take the wind out of the Calgary sails too much. Hopefully it'll do the complete opposite and light a bit of a fire, and they'll come back in Game 2 and tie up this series. When you look at the Ducks, Corey Perry obviously has been playing fantastic for the Ducks this postseason. He's got 5 goals, 6 assists. Getzlaf has 2 goals and 6 assists. Silfverberg, 2 goals, 4 assists. Same with Vatanen. He's got 2 goals, 4 assists. Kessler, 3 goals, 2 assists. So you got a lot of guys that are stepping up. A lot of guys are producing, and that makes it hard because that even when the top line isn't on the ice, you still got guys for the Ducks that are going to score. And as good as Hiller has been playing this postseason, Hiller's got a 2.61 GA and a 919 save percentage. That's pretty good, but I think the Ducks have the talent that if they can score 2 or 3 goals a night, I think Anderson then in the net for the Ducks, he's got a 1.97 GA with a 930 save percentage, so not quite the same caliber of goaltender competition as in the Capitals-Rangers series, but Anderson is still a very good goalie for the Ducks, and they got a lot of players that are stepping up for multiple lines, and I think it's going to be a tough series for Calgary to try to get through to the conference finals. Calgary does have players that are stepping up. Hoodler's got 3 goals and 3 assists. Gaudreau's got 2 goals and 4 assists. And then Monahan and Jones both respectively have 2 goals and 3 assists themselves. So they got other guys that are stepping up. So I think this will be a tight series. Even though after Game 1 it looks like the Ducks might run away with this series, I think if Calgary can bounce back from that and tie this game series up in Game 2, they might be okay. Hiller, again, with a 2.61 GAA and 919 save percentage, that's good. It's hard to kind of ask your goalie to step up and be better than that, but I think he's going to have to be. I think Hiller's going to have to play with, a GAA not much more than 2 if they expect to win this series, because I just don't see the Flames finding a way to get more than maybe 2-3 goals a night against Anderson, so keep an eye on this series. Next series, going to talk about my team, the Wild, facing the Blackhawks. Obviously, lost Game 1 in that series, but I think this is going to be a very interesting series. With the Wild, obviously, I don't think they'd be in the playoffs unless it was for Devin Dubnyk, so I'll start off with goaltender talk there. Dubnyk's got a 2.58 GAA and a 908 save percentage this postseason, and then when you flip it over to Chicago, Crawford has a 3.81 GAA and an 871 save percentage, so I don't think we're going to see him too much in this playoff series. Because Darling, their other goalie in Chicago, he's got a 2.21 GAA and a 936 save percentage. So if your main goalie can't produce and he's got a GAA that's almost at 4, that's not going to cut it, especially in the second round of the playoffs. So I think that's where we might see a little more out of Darling in this series. But I think that's kind of a bit of an advantage for the Wild, is their goaltender play hasn't been consistent, kind of thing. They don't have a number one guy, and their number one guy in Crawford has been not playing that well, so now Darling's stepping up, which is good for them. And if Dubnyk can continue to play to the level he's been playing and maybe step it up a little bit, again, that's hard to say to a goalie who's got a 2.58 GAA, step it up, but I think he still has to find a way to keep it to, no more than 2 goals a night against the Blackhawks, because the Wild do have players that can score. Obviously, Parise's got 4 goals and 5 assists so far this postseason. Granlund's got 2 goals and 4 assists. Niederreiter's got 3 goals and assists, and then Pominville's got 2 goals and 3 assists as well. So they got players that can score, but Chicago does as well. And Chicago's got, I think, a little more depth on their roster than Minnesota. Chicago, obviously, Duncan Keith's got 2 goals and 7 assists for them, and then Taves and Kane both have 3 goals and 5 assists respectively. And then Patrick Sharp's got 3 goals and 3 assists, and then Marian Hossa doesn't have a goal yet this postseason, but he's got 6 assists. So even if their players aren't finding the net, they're finding guys who are with a high assist total there, with 6 assists for him, and Duncan Keith's got 7. So a lot of high assist numbers for the Blackhawks. I think this is going to be the deepest series of the 4 in the second round. I do see the series going to 7, and I think Minnesota's going to pull it out in the end and get to the conference finals. Again, playing that pick with a bit of my heart, but I don't think it's a crazy thing. I think it'll be tough for them to beat the Blackhawks for sure. But I think it can be done. So that's my thought on that series. Wrapping up with the last series, obviously the Lightning versus the other Canadian team in the second round, the Canadiens, Montreal Canadiens. Tampa Bay obviously won game 1 with 2-1 win in double overtime. Bit of controversy. Was he offside? I'm not going to get into that. When you look at the play, yes, he was, I think. And is that what Montreal's going to say? And it was double overtime. You're going to get some breaks, and you're going to capitalize on those opportunities, and that's what winning teams do. So I'm sure the refs got a bit of a talking to after that game, with the double overtime win coming with a missed call like that. Hopefully they don't get tighter with the calls in game 2. I think it's important in the playoffs you let the guys play. Kind of thing. You don't see a lot of roughing calls and all that kind of stuff, because it's intense. It's the playoffs. Guys are going to want to play a little tougher, a little more aggressive than they do maybe in the regular season. So let them play, but we'll see what happens once game 2 rolls around. Goaltender matchup, again, like I said, with the Capitals Rangers matchup, you have an amazing goaltender matchup there, and it's just as good here in this series with Bishop for the Lightning and Price for the Canadiens. Bishop has a 1.68 GAA and 933 save percentage this postseason, and Carey Price has a 1.85 GAA with a 940 save percentage. So Carey Price, I think, is going to win the Vezina this season. So you got the Vezina winner in this series, obviously in the pipes for the Habs. And it's going to be low scoring games. Like, it was 2-1 win in double overtime, and I think that's going to be the key. Is if you can score 2 goals in this series, you've probably won that series, because your goalie for the other team is probably going to be able to keep their opponent to 1. So I think it's going to be a lot of 1-0 games, 2-1 games, overtime games. It's going to be a very similar series, I think, as the Capitals-Rangers series in regards to the caliber of goaltender play. When you look at the Lightning, obviously Johnson stepped up. He's got 7 goals, so he's the highest goal getter so far in the playoffs for any team. He's got 7 goals and an assist for the Lightning. And then Pacioretty has 3 goals but no assists. So Pacioretty hopefully can start to spread the puck around a little bit, and the Habs will find a way to win this series. It would be nice to see 2 Canadian teams advance again, have a Canadian team in the finals of both conferences. So we'll see what happens as the second round continues in the NHL. Thank you again all for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at GHAM614, and I'll talk to you again next week. Bye.